This is everything that I have learned in ECS 203. When I began this course, I believed that the curriculum was a fixed document containing topics that we just had to get through, and pedagogy was how I chose to teach these topics. I assumed that being a good teacher meant sticking closely to what was provided in the curriculum document and ensuring that each and every outcome and indicator was completed in the exact way it was presented to me. However, now that I have engaged with ECS 203 through lots of class discussions, readings, and reflection, I understand that curriculum and pedagogy are much more complex, personal, and political than I had originally imagined. This class has challenged my understanding of what it means to be a good teacher, and with this, it has forced me to reflect on the type of teacher I want to become. At the beginning of this course, I never considered the need to question the curriculum itself. I've always assumed that it was a neutral guide that did not require much questioning. However, Kumashiro and Schwab's text made it clear that the curriculum is far from neutral. It is actually extremely influenced by the politics and ideologies of the dominant group. As a result of Kumashiro's discussion and critical consideration of common sense, I now understand that I only believed that the curriculum was neutral as I fit into the dominant culture it was based on. I've always viewed a good student as someone who follows the instructions and stays quiet. However, now I understand that this definition of a good student privileges those who already fit into the dominant culture and further sets back those who learn differently or come from different backgrounds with different expectations. Further, learning about Schwab's bodies of experience, so subject matter, learners, milieu, teachers, and curriculum making, helped me understand how limited the current curriculum document is. The current document prioritizes subject matter over the learner, which results in the needs and lived experiences of learners and teachers being completely overlooked. Further, our investigation of Inuit mathematics with the help of Gail Russell and Poirier shifted my understanding of mathematics, which is the focus in this program for me. Although I have previously worked with the Inuit-based 20 system, I never considered how it could reframe my understanding of math. Inuit mathematics is shaped by observation and storytelling in Indigenous cultures. This has allowed me to understand that mathematics is a subject that is heavily influenced by culture and context. As such, my understanding of curriculum and pedagogy has evolved from me seeing them as neutral and unquestionable to viewing them as political and socially constructed. I now know that they do require changes or at least adaptations to allow them to be responsive to the students I teach. Now, I know that I must question the curriculum that is placed in front of me. Obviously, I will still use the curriculum, but I must use it with a critical lens. I must forever ask myself who wrote the curriculum and whose voices are present and whose are not. I will make a commitment to adapt it to serve the students in front of me, not just the students it is designed to benefit. This means that I want to include higher level ways of teaching. I will work towards ensuring that I am including Smith's curriculum as praxis and Shiro's social reconstructionist and learner-centered ideologies. I believe that this will better allow my teaching to be rooted in care for the communities and individuals that I will be serving. Further, I am committed to using a variety of learning theories to better my classroom. I believe that behaviorism can help create a classroom structure that fosters an environment for all learners to thrive in, but that it must be used in combination with cognitivism to support the development of critical thinking. However, I want to have a focus on constructivism to allow my students' voices to be heard and their contexts and perspectives to be seen. I want to use all of these elements to create a classroom with space. Space for everyone's perspective, space for true learning, and space to learn through discomfort. In this course, not only were my ideas challenged, but my emotions definitely were too. Namely, our discussions of single stories forced me to understand that I have been supporting a system that is designed to help me, but leaves many groups of people feeling like they don't belong or don't have space at school. Staying silent and not acknowledging that the curriculum needs to change is just fueling the problem. I have the power to help make change, and continuing the cycle in my classroom just because it supports people like me is morally unjust. I need to continue to reflect on my own biases that have been shaped by both what I have learned and what I haven't learned. I need to support the voices of those that have been silenced this whole time. Further, I experience cognitive dissonance when we discuss curriculum renewal. The political nature of Alberta Social Studies curriculum renewal made me realize that curriculum isn't always about what's best for kids. It can be about upholding certain political narratives. That was kind of hard to accept, but it is necessary to consider. It reminded me that as a teacher, I must use my voice to bring in the missing ones. I can create a classroom where students know how to think, not just what to think. I know I still have so much to learn. I still carry implicit biases. I will still default to certain ways of teaching and thinking that feel safe or traditional. But this course has shown me that growth begins with discomfort, and I now welcome that discomfort as part of my learning process. This course has allowed me to understand that being a good teacher is not about following the curriculum to a T or having all of the answers. It is about using the curriculum in a way that supports all of my learners and allows me to continue to grow. I promise to no longer see the curriculum as a strict one-size-fits-all document. I will see it as an opportunity to find ways to support my students' voices and education. I promise to challenge systems that only support a specific type of student. And most importantly, I promise to continue learning and to learn to recognize when I am supporting a flawed system. I am ready to make space for everyone.